Episode 118, Marketing Paradigm Shift. Welcome to Gratitude Geek, the relationship marketing podcast, helping micropreneurs find your micro influencer magic. I'm your host, Candice Rodardi, and this week I'm joined by Marco Torres. Marco is the founder of marketingboost.com. He has helped thousands of business owners worldwide boost sales and scale their business by as much as fivefold through the use of incentive-based marketing. He teaches entrepreneurs how to increase sales by eliminating discounts and instead using value-add incentives. Welcome, Marco.
Thank you, Candice.
I have so many questions for you, but before we dig into it, tell us your unique story. How'd you get to where you are?
Oh, okay, great. Well, I've been, as you can see, if you're watching the video, I am no spring chicken. I've been around the block for a while. I started as an entrepreneur very young. By the age of 12, I was featured on the front page of the local newspaper for having built the biggest paper route they had ever seen. I just found that the other day too. I was cleaning out my dad's stuff and going through his old files and turned up a folder he had on me, and out comes this paper clipping that I'd forgotten completely about with me featured on the front page of the newspaper. So that was pretty cool. And it reminded me that way back when I focused on leveraging relationships. I had my buddies helping me deliver the papers, and I focused on sales and collections. Back then we had to go door to door and sell the subscriptions and then go back door to door to collect every week. So then later, by the age of 23, I had owned 5 restaurants and a nightclub. So I've been an early entrepreneur. I went and we sold those restaurants, and eventually I got in the corporate world for a while. I got in internet marketing way back before Google, before Facebook. I've been in internet marketing since 1995. Building websites, doing mass email marketing before they called it spam. I was a mega spammer. So I've been around and I've watched the internet evolve. I've been an internet marketing guy for quite some time. I've generated over $1 billion in sales for myself, for my clients, my clients mostly over the years. And so I kind of, hopefully I can add some value bombs, some ideas that your members can take away, your listeners, and just maybe take some tips and use them, make some money.
This is awesome. So I actually started internet marketing in 1998. So you've been doing it for 3 years longer than I have.
Wow. Okay. We both go back. All right. You look too young for that.
Thank you. He's a sweet talker, guys. I am not that young. So here, the 2 words that you said in your story that all the bells went off, and now I have like tingles everywhere, is leveraging relationships. So even at age 12, you knew how important it was to build, not just leverage your relationships, but you got to build those relationships, because those guys didn't want to work with you if you were mean to them. So,
exactly.
So as a 12-year-old, what were some of the things that you did to leverage those relationships? How did you get those other paper boys on board with your route?
Yeah, it was a matter of, hey, let's leverage our skills, right? I knew that I realized early on that I'm not bad at selling. I could go, and I enjoyed it. So I could focus on really just building the accounts, doing the collections. And I would tell those guys, hey, you can have your own paper out, or you can deliver, just focus on delivering, and I'll worry about sales and collections and pay them, a fair share of the revenue. And we rocked. I had like 3 guys helping me, and I just focused on mostly sales and collections and no deliveries. So it worked out well. And my dad taught me how to do, spreadsheets back then, because, we had to manually keep track of who owes me money and who's behind and so on and so forth. It was basically a real business.
So you did the thing that most people don't like to do, and that's the selling. Because that's where most businesses fail, is they don't sell. They don't want to sell, so they don't know how to sell. They don't understand the importance of selling, and they certainly don't spend enough money on selling.
Exactly.
So interesting. Okay, so that leads us to Marketing Boost. Tell us about Marketing Boost.
Well, Marketing Boost came about as as a side business. Actually, I've been in the travel space now. Once I got, out of the restaurant business and what have you, moved to Florida in the almost 30 years ago. Got into sales again. I stayed in sales and got into travel sales. And before I knew it, I was working for a big corporation. And 2008 came around. I had built up a machine of internet marketing. We had over 2,000 telemarketers, and phones were ringing from the internet and from email marketing. And back then, I would, really pay per click was huge. Between email and pay per click, I was just blowing it up. 2008 comes along and literally had to fire everybody. Ended up getting fired myself. Had one of the best sales years I'd ever had in my life in 2008. Heck, I had to sell my house, my cars, my boat, my motorcycle, my furniture. I mean, it was like, holy smokes, it was start all over. And so in 2010, by the time I got back on my feet and joined some partners and leveraged some more relationships, I got together with some guys that I had been friends with and done business with over the years. None of us we were all in a similar boat of being like devastated. None of us could have afforded to hire each other because we were all, essentially in our own minds, top dogs anyway. So we got together and we leveraged our skill sets. And one of us focused on marketing. I focused on sales. The other guy focused on resort relationships and hotel contracts. The other one on financing and so forth. And between the four of us, we built a what turned into be one of the fastest growing travel companies in North America. And that was growing really great. And what we needed, one of the things we needed to grow was we wanted video testimonials from our clients so that we could show people on vacation. We were selling travel, of course. And we wanted to show people on vacation at the beaches, at the resorts, bragging about the hotels. And what could we do to get people motivated to actually film a selfie video and brag about the hotel and about our brand? And we came up with an idea to offer an incentive. And so we offered them a complimentary hotel stay, a bonus trip, if they would go through the process of filming us a video testimonial. Now, this tip I'm going to give you next, Candace, any one of your listeners could use for any business out there, because we all need more reviews. We all need testimonials, and you need them coming in constantly on a fresh basis to have that social proof that your clients expect if they're going to do business with you. So here's what we did. We did a survey when we expected the client to be at their peak of happiness, which is like the day after check-in. So in your case, anybody else's business out there, figure out when they should be at their peak of happiness with your service or product, and then ask them for, you need to solicit for a review. So anyway, we would solicit a survey first. Hey, you've checked into the hotel by now. How is the hotel living up to your expectations? How has our service been so far? Would you give us a rating of 1 to 5? How do we come in? And if they gave us a 4 or 5, we would immediately send them back a text and an email message saying, wonderful, we're thrilled that you're having a great time and enjoying the resort. Would you do us a huge favor and help us spread the word about this hotel? And film if you would go the extra step of filming a selfie video testimonial from the beach, from the pool, from the bar, the restaurant, we're going to reward you with a complimentary hotel stay. And that took off. And before we knew it, we had dozens and then hundreds and then thousands of these video testimonials coming in. And we leveraged them all over our website, and we were generating thousands of additional sales. And then we were like, as they raised their hand to travel, for all these comp trips we were giving out, now people were saying, hey, I want to use it. We were like having to pay for those rooms, and that was expensive. And we're like, oh, now what could we do to offset this? So we went back, and here's how Marketing Boost was born. We went back to these hotel partners and said, hey, we know you've got a problem and we can solve it. We know that your hotels are never full year round. You've got empty rooms 70% of the year. Yeah, you're full on weekends, some weekends, holidays, special events, but the majority of the year, 70% of the year, 30% of your rooms will go empty. So we can put warm bodies, couples, individuals in those rooms that'll spend money at the restaurant, the bar, the casino, the spa, the gift shop, the additional upgrade rooms types, book additional nights, you name it. And a few of them agreed in Orlando and Las Vegas, where we were offering the complimentary trips to our guests. And so immediately we were able to now be able to fulfill these trips without costing us anything because the hotels were participating. And that took off great. And then we're like, can you imagine if we could get hundreds of hotels around the world to do this? We could create a business all by itself. And so that's what we set off doing. And before we knew it, we had about a dozen destinations. We launched originally what was called Advertising Bait, was the name of our company originally. The idea being that we are the bait to help your advertising, hook or grab more clients. And we had hundreds of affiliate marketers that were promoting our product. and they complained about the word bait in our name. So we were like, okay, we listen, we're nimble, we changed the name to Advertising Boost. And we had that for a couple of years. And then we thought, you know what? Nobody considers themselves an advertiser anymore. Everybody's a marketer. Everybody's a marketing guru. So we switched the name to Marketing Boost a few years ago. We don't have any intentions to ever change it again. We're rocking and rolling with marketingboost.com. And what we do is provide incentives with as a membership product. It's a subscription plan that gives you ability to give away an unlimited amount of our complimentary hotel stays, restaurant savings vouchers, and hotel savings cards that business owners can use to do everything from acquire testimonials and reviews, like I just mentioned, to close more sales, to generate referrals, to you name it. We'll go through some ideas to the show here, Candace, but hope I didn't hog the microphone too long here.
No, this is all about you. So when did Marketing Boost start? Do you remember when you launched that business?
2017.
2017. Okay. So I have probably known about your company since 2017. And
Wow.
I thought that it was a genius idea when I first learned about it. But because of my business model at the time, I didn't feel like it was a good fit for me. My husband and I sell high-end custom furniture. We sell king-size beds for people who collect antique furniture. And most of our clients are Fortune 500 executives and movie stars. So I just didn't feel like giving them a free trip was a good match at that time in 2017, right? And then I'm going to say 2018, maybe 2019. My husband and I decided to retire. And so we're semi-retired now. We moved to another state, and I started really doubling down on my business coaching practice. And I received a video from a friend of mine who's also a business coach. And the video was a picture of her wishing me a happy birthday. And then it said, "I have a present for you. Click the link below and grab your present." And it was a link to get a free trip. So it was, this was in 2020. This was in 2020. So it was January 2020 is when my birthday is. So I filled out the form to get my free trip. And then the corona didn't like the salt and the lime. The corona came and shut everything down. So I never got to go on my trip. But I just thought, wow, this is such a great idea. And okay, so back to the reason why I'm calling this episode Marketing Paradigm Shift is because you shifted twice now, right? You shifted in 2008 and you had to shift again in 2020. So talk to me about that shift in 2020, because you're still here. So you did something right.
We definitely took a hit for COVID. You know, we lost a huge amount of the Marketing Boost members. Were concerned or thought, no, nobody's going to travel during, or use these, or even be interested in these travel incentives during COVID. And so what we did do is, we did lose a lot, but about 60% of our members stuck with us and continued to use the incentives, and found that people were still assuming. And what we did was we extended the time to use it. Right now, prior to COVID, you have 18 months to use the certificate after you activate it. So you activate the certificate by paying the government taxes, by the way. That's how that works. The travel incentive, it doesn't include airfare. It doesn't include food and beverage. It doesn't include government taxes. So we teach our members, just do a good disclosure that say, hey, I'm going to give you a free hotel stay, but you do need to pay your own airfare, your own food and beverage, and of course, government taxes and fees. And so there's the activation fee covers those government taxes. Every government around the world is going to make sure they get paid when somebody checks in. They expect to get their government, their fees. And so 18 months to travel wasn't a big enough window. So we extended that to 24 months, and people were, during all of 2020 and 2020 and 2021, people were still activating those certificates. But truthfully, very few were using them, obviously, because of the travel lockdowns and everything else. So they were just piling up. And as the COVID, as the vaccinations were, again, everybody had more confidence in travel, and they started to, really tick up as far as usage. Right now, I've never seen anything like it. I'd call this right now revenge travel. We've never seen so many of these certificates being given out, so many being activated, so many being used. it's amazing. And again, right now there's never been a better time actually to use these incentives to motivate your client to take whatever action, whatever your call to action is, because people are done and tired of being locked down, and they are looking for an affordable way to travel. They are enticed with the discount or the the freebie, and so it's huge for many of our clients. I call it the mastermind, the secret of many a mastermind marketer.
So you've also got the restaurant vouchers, you got the hotel vouchers. I'm missing one. You have 3 different vouchers. What's the other kind?
Yeah, we have the complimentary hotel stays, and those are good now at over 125 destinations around the world, from 3-night stays to all over the U.S. and Canada, and places like all over Europe and UK and Spain and France and you name it. Then a bunch of destinations in Australia. We have 5-night stays in places like Cancun, Mexico, which we have some phenomenal resorts in Cancun right now, Puerto Vallarta as well, and Cabo San Lucas coming on next week. Then we have 4-night stays in places like Punta Cana. We have 7-night stays in places like Phuket, Thailand, and Bali. And then we have the hotel savings cards, and these are not quite the same. These work in cash increments of cash credits of $100, $200, $300, or $500 in cash credit savings. And they work like a gift card, but they don't pay for the entire hotel stay. They will end up discounting the room rate compared to the Expedias of the world from 10 to 50% off. And then we've got the restaurant savings vouchers that are only good in the US and Canada. And those are about 100,000 offers. It's a phone app that the client gets, and then they put in their zip code, and they can, find local restaurants, or even when they're traveling, put in the zip code of where they're at, see what's available in their community, and go get, buy one, get one free, entrees, 10% off, 25% off the entire meal. There's just different offers from all the different participating restaurants. So those are the 3 categories of incentives.
Okay, so talk to me about that. Is it a one-time offer with the app for the restaurants, or is it
multiple? No, they'll get $100, for example, a $100 coupon, and then they'll get all of once they log in with their app, they'll see that, hey, if I use this app for Pizza Hut, for example, I might get it might cost me $5 of 5 credits of my 100 credits in order to get a buy one, get one pizza or something like that. Or maybe it'll be, eat at Caruso's Italian restaurant and save 25% off the entire bill. That might cost me 10 credits and I'll still have 90 credits left. So they'll be able to turn what we call a $100 restaurant voucher into potentially $300, $400, $500 in savings by the time they use up all of the 100 credits.
So you're gifting, as the marketer, you're gifting the $100 voucher, and then it's up to the person you gift it to figure out how they're going to use it. That's a really good idea.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
That's the kind of thing that should have been selling like hotcakes during the pandemic.
Right. Well, even then even restaurants became a problem, if you recall. So even many of the restaurants were forced to shut down. So yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare over there.
It's getting better. I can't imagine. I mean, 6 million people died. So it was still terrible, but it is getting better. It's getting better. Okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
So paradigm. So for those of you who don't know what a paradigm is, it's a process, it's a system. So when we talk about paradigm shifts, it's just a change in the way we do things. That's what a paradigm shift is. So right now, it's time to shift, because the world is a much different place than it was 2 years ago. And it's not going to go back to the way it was, no matter how hard we wish it would. It just doesn't ever go back. You can't go back to before we had airplanes. You can't go back to before we had cars. Things change, and they change forever. And right now, the way that we have done business has changed, and it's not ever going to go back to the way it was before. So it's time to shift. This system that Marco has, Marketing Boost, is a way that we can shift the way that we think about the way we market and change the way we market to something different. And like he said before, he was building relationships at the age of 12. I don't know how old he is now, but if he's been internet marketing for longer than I have, he's older than me. So that was a while ago. Okay, so he's known about relationship building for a long time. And that is the way that our great grandparents did business. They did business by building relationships, right? Mm-hmm. And then something happened in the 50s and the 60s, and it became this, death by salesman thing. And then now we're shifting back to the way Marco knows is the best way to do business. You want to talk about that? You want to unpack what I just said?
Yeah, I get it. And so it does go back to personal sales, and that is a trained skill. I mean, some of us might have naturally the ability, but in my case, for example, I've been reading self-help books since I can remember, and that's all I ever have read. I've never been I've never really been able to hold it or get through a book if it was about anything other than self-help, more, training, sales training, marketing training, you name it. And so the books that early on affected my ability to sell was, the Zig Ziglar series, old school. So, and those are still very relevant today on, and Napoleon Hill, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Zig Ziglar with the whole concept, his whole training series on sales. And his whole concept of, if you can help other people get what they want, if you help enough other people get what they want in their life or business, you will get what you want. And that's what sales really is. It's not that complex. It's, can you listen with two ears and talk with one? And can you, does your solution, does your product or service actually solve somebody's need or desire? And if you can convince them, and if you believe it, in other words, you only really, sometimes you should walk away from a sale. If your product or service is not really the solution, don't push it. It's only meant to, and if you're saying, look, I don't have the solution for you, I'm going to refer you to a friend to be better for you. That's the proof that people will realize, wow, he's not trying to just sell me for the sake of selling me. And they'll want to buy from you anyway, or what have you. But the point is, be a solution for other people and really deliver on that. And the sales will just keep coming naturally.
That just happened to me yesterday, literally. Maybe it was the day before yesterday. Time is a wibbly wobbly thing for me. I got a phone call from a guy that I used to network with in BNI, and he said, "Candace, I want to talk to you about postcards." So I called him back and said, "Hey, what do you want to talk?" Because postcard marketing, greeting card marketing. I'm a full disclosure, I'm an affiliate with Send Out Cards. So postcards are something that Send Out Cards offers. And he said, I want to talk to you about these postcards. And then he told me what he wanted to do. He wanted to canvas a neighborhood with postcards promoting his, he does window cleaning. He wanted to canvas a neighborhood, say, it's time to get your windows cleaned. Here's how to get a hold of me. And I said, that's not my wheelhouse. That I'm not the best solution for you. I want you to talk to Brian over at the UPS store because Brian can help you. And then we had a great conversation. We caught up and, and I sent a text message to Brian, said, hey, Joe might be calling you. So that is it. I didn't lose business because it wasn't a good fit for me anyway. What I did was I built a better relationship with Brian and Joe.
Exactly. And then that's going to reciprocate down the road with referrals your way. It's just karma coming
Exactly.
your way.
Exactly. But it's always been about the relationships for me. People talk about money and I don't really care about the money. I care about the value that I bring to the world. Like the other day, I found someone to help. Someone needed help finding her daughter health insurance she lives in a different state. And I was able to make one phone call and get her health insurance. And I'm in Michigan and she needed health insurance in Georgia because I've built a network of people. And eventually that network pays back. It's the law of reciprocity. It's that most people don't like to hear about law of attraction, law of reciprocity, all that stuff. But the law of reciprocity is you give and you receive. It doesn't matter who, if you're not going to get back from the person you give to, but if you give, you'll receive.
Exactly.
Your hand is open. You got one hand open, one to give and one to receive. This hand will get stuff, right? And this value, this marketing boost thing is the exact same idea. You are giving away to receive. All right. So my big question for you right now, this is one that's totally in your wheelhouse and it's completely unrelated to everything I was just saying, but not really. A lot of people have taken a pause in their business, but now it's time to get back in business. So they've got this dead marketing list. Give me some ideas on what they can do to reactivate their dead list.
To revive a database. Yeah. Mm-hmm. One, for example, we're launching and it's funny that you brought this up earlier, but the birthday gift that you received is an example of that. We have a product we're launching this week called the Birthday Connector, and it's a Facebook Chrome extension software that It'll make sure you never forget a birthday again. So, you can send automatic birthday to everybody in your Facebook contacts. And in that birthday, you might be wanting to send a marketing boost incentive like you did, or like you received to re-engage and start conversations with, your everybody in your Facebook contact list, as an example. For an old email database, you could create a contest, a campaign, and you're sending everybody an email marketing saying, hey, we're back in business, or we're on we're expanding again, and yada yada. Right now I'm running a contest for the first 10 people that respond to this email, or request a new audit of your insurance needs, or request an update on, let's get together and chat. I'm going to be giving you $500 hotel savings card just for booking a no obligation appointment, and so on. So you can use our incentives, and I like to promote using a micro incentive for a micro call to action. So, for example, you don't want to give away a 5-night trip to Cancun just for re-engaging with via email. It sounds too good to be true. But you could do a contest. You could say, I'm giving away 1 trip to Cancun, Mexico. So please respond to this email, and you'll be entered to win, for example. You could go and again, for booking an appointment, booking a no obligation appointment. Let's follow up and see where your financial services are, or where obviously it all depends on what your product or service is. And then you're going to say, book a no obligation appointment. I'm going to reward you if you book an appointment and show up on time. This is one of the next big things. We're all using Zoom now more than ever for these type of internet communications. And people book appointments now, which is a hell of a lot more effective than driving around town to meet somebody. So there is a benefit to this new paradigm of having sales calls and sales meetings. But then people book appointments and they don't show. When you knocked on their office door, they'd likely be there. Now they book an appointment, there's nobody there. So the incentives that we offer, we're finding are really helping people raise the show rate of people that are, booked an appointment, and then and if you don't have automation, you need automation. So you need to be reminding them of their appointment time but those reminders could also say, don't forget, we want to reward you for showing up on time with $100 or $200 hotel savings card, good at 1 million hotels worldwide, just for showing up on time to the appointment. So that's an idea. Your guy, giving back, Candace, to the guy who was doing the postcards. He could be doing a postcard for the window cleaning and saying, by the way, the first 10 responders this month are going to get a bonus trip to 3 nights in Las Vegas, Nevada, just for booking the appointment to a free no obligation quote to clean your windows, or whatever it might be. And add one of our incentives with scarcity and urgency. In other words, be the first 10 callers, or be one of the first 100 responders, or whatever. And you will be given a complimentary hotel stay in Las Vegas just for the no obligation appointment, as an example. So I can keep going, Candace.
Oh, please do. Please do. I actually am going to be sending that to Joe.
There you go.
So I'm going to take that snip of you talking about that and snip it out, and I'm going to send it to Joe.
Yeah.
So there. Give me more. I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm absorbing. So give me more.
Sure. Well, let's suppose you wanted to relive that database again, that question. So right now I find Facebook groups are very effective. So depending upon what your business or service is all about, it's a lot of work to manage and run a Facebook group, but it's worth it, because what you could be doing with that email database, for example, is emailing everybody and saying with a call to action that's pretty easy and no threat. Hey, join our free Facebook group and get a chance to win a complimentary hotel stay in Cancun. We're giving away this week. So you're getting everybody to come join your Facebook group, for example. Once they join your group, I've known people that have grown a group from 0 to 10,000 followers and more by using our complimentary, running a contest weekly. And so as people join the group, they're like, invite 10 or 10 of your friends to join this group. And for every friend you invite, you get another chance to win a complimentary. This week, we're giving away a trip to Cancun. Next week, we're giving away Hawaii. Next week, we're doing Las Vegas. Then we're doing, Miami Beach. And you're running these contests, and you're getting everybody to help share and virally grow the group by, promising and then make a big deal out of every winner. Once a week, you pick that winner, you go live on Facebook, you send them the certificate. And And then, of course, as your group is growing, here's where the work comes in. You do need to start providing quality content, posting, and showing that you're the expert in your field. So you can by the way, a lot of this content today, you can buy it pre-written, and then you can buy content that's for your niche or your industry, and then you can edit it, make it your own, change the logos, change the stuff. So you can buy a material copy that's written for your niche and industry, make it easy, and rebrand it, and continue to have this constant flow of quality and content that you're providing your audience. But now you're setting yourself up as the authority, the giver, because you're giving without asking for money yet. You're building a relationship with everybody slowly in your Facebook group, and then you are eventually, then you're holding promo cycles, webinars, whatever it might be, to get people in listening to your product or service and eventually buying from you. Our group, for example, have a Facebook group, two of them, but one of them, I have three groups actually. One of them is 54,000 members of affiliate marketers only. The other one is our main Facebook group for Marketing Boost. Is almost 28,000 business owners in it, where we're helping each other and tips and on how to use these incentives and so forth. And the third is our Marketing Boost Solutions group for people that have bought our upgrade products, and they're there to help each other and peer-to-peer feedback and what have you. So the Facebook groups, to me, are a great way to build a community and set yourself as the authority and so on. And our incentives can be used to help grow those.
I forgot to ask you, when is your Chrome plugin going to launch?
Which one? Oh, that'll be in another couple of weeks or two. We'll have that. We also have some other products that go with that available at marketingboostsolutions.com as well. So, yeah.
A couple of weeks from now for Marco is actually today for you. So it's probably live now. So it's Marketing Boost.
It is live now. We're just finalizing. The training videos and what have you, so that those who do get this product can implement it properly.
And so what's the price on that going to be?
That's actually going to come free with an annual membership to Marketing Boost. So Marketing Boost is $37 a month is all it costs to be a member of Marketing Boost. But if you upgrade and pay for our annual plan, which is a savings of 20%, and so you save on the annual plan plus, so it only comes out to $347, and that will include the Birthday Connector software free, and it'll include an 8-week bootcamp course on ideas and strategies to use Marketing Boost incentives.
And you don't have to pay, as the member, as the affiliate, you do not have to pay for any of those trips. It's a one-time fee, and the trips are included.
Well, the compliment, you can give an unlimited amount of those incentives to your prospects or clients. And you have the option. Most of our members give the travel incentive away, and they let the client pay the activation fee, which, remember, if you recall, that's the taxes and fees I told you about when it comes to the complimentary hotel stays. The hotel savings cards have no cost to activate for either the Marketing Boost member or the client. There's only an expense there if they book a room. So when they book a room, if it's media, maybe it costs $300, and on with the incentive with the hotel savings card, maybe it's $200, so they save $100. And so now they only have an expense if they actually book that $200 room, for example. And then the restaurant vouchers do have an activation fee of $7.95, and that can be paid either by the Marketing Boost member or the client. And the same with the complimentary hotel stays. Typically, our members let the clients pay the activation fee. They just do a disclosure. I'm giving you the certificate. You're responsible for hotel fare, food and beverage, and taxes and fees. But if you had a big ticket item, if you're selling a $20,000 annual business coaching deal, and you've got a decent markup in there, you're more than willing to, what we call fund your wallet within Marketing Boost, and you could pay the activation fee for your clients. We have a number of high ticket, members that are high ticket sales items, and they pay the activation fee with their client, and they give a truly complimentary hotel stay to their clients. But again, that depends on, if you're making enough money on the client up front. And so instead of discounting, if you're selling that $20,000 annual business coach thing, instead of saying, look, if you hire me this week, I'll sell it to you for $14,997. You might keep your $20,000 price tag, give them that 5-night stay to Cancun, Mexico, and pay the activation fee yourself, which is only, $32 a night or whatever it is. So it's, you can afford to pay the activation fee and hold your price versus discounting, which is an example of what I like to coach on.
So let's talk about fair use, because there are probably some coaches out there listening that are destination coaches that like to put together like destination masterminds. So fair use of the product, I'm going to assume that you can't give away these things to your clients and say, use this voucher to book the hotel for the mastermind.
That's a good point and a great question. No, the group travel is the bread and butter of every hotel out there. So they do not allow group travel with these certificates. So no, you wouldn't be able to put it, give away, that would be really awesome if it was true, but it would make it too good to be true. So if you could hand out, hey, I've got your hotel paid for, everybody book your trip to Las Vegas and we're going to have a mastermind with me and everybody get a free room. No, unfortunately, it won't work like that. So you can't use them for group travel. You could use the hotel savings cards, however. So you could provide everybody with a hotel savings card and say, hey, you can save some money on the hotel. We're all booking we're recommending one of the following 3 hotels, and here's the savings available with the hotel savings card I'm sending you. And you can, we can all book, because there's no limit to how many rooms can be booked at a savings, but they're not free. So
that's excellent. So the other thing I was thinking as you were talking was that you could do this destination retreat, and then when the retreat's over, you can give the hotel stay. Okay, now that you've done this work, here's your reward. Go on a trip with your partner.
Exactly. That'd be a perfect use of it. And everybody who was there at the live mastermind event, or everybody who purchased the upgrade product while that you were, maybe you were presenting something at this mastermind event, that if they buy this package A to go with your mastermind today, take home this new level of whatever, then you can say, by the way, if you do that, we're bonusing a trip to, 5 nights Cancun for you and your wife, boom, or something like that. So
as a person who sends over 400 birthday cards per year and wants to send 1,000 per year, I'm going to say that your birthday plugin is worth the $347. Like, if that's the only thing I got for the $347, that would be worth it.
I agree.
I really wish I could talk to you more, but we're out of time. So what is one question that you want to answer that I didn't ask you?
I guess the questions or the answer to that would simply be, Marketing Boost is not the magic bullet to solve your, all your marketing problems. If you don't already have a decent product or service, if you don't already have some credibility and trust, adding a travel incentive to your offer is not necessarily going to make you a millionaire overnight. It's not at all. So it's one of the tools that you need, and you need to sprinkle them in occasionally. And for the price of our service, if you only used it several times a year, to win over a client, to solve a customer service issue, to generate referrals. There's so many ways, but the point is, we're so affordable that we make it easy for any business owner to use us, test us, and again, even just occasionally, enter these things. You use these incentives, even though you can give them away like candy. We do recommend using them, creating that scarcity and urgency, and using them in, carefully to hold that perceived value of the incentive.
Hey, I do have one more question. Didn't you say affiliate? So when someone says affiliate, that sort of means that there might be an income opportunity attached.
I forgot to mention that. Yes, we do pay. We do have 40% commissions paid out to anybody that you refer to join Marketing Boost. And if it's a two level deep. So if you refer somebody, they sign up, and then they refer people, you're going to earn 10% on anybody that they're referring. So it can turn into a substantial income for those that are, going B2B and turning on other business owners to Marketing Boost.
So 2.5 people pays for you. So if you share it with 2.5 people, it pays for your account.
Exactly.
That's a pretty good deal. All right. Now's the opportunity for you to share your moment of gratitude. For whom or what are you most grateful?
I'm most grateful to still be on this planet. In 2016, I had a quadruple bypass surgery, opened up my heart, changed all the valves out. And so I'm still here. I'm blessed to still be here and have the opportunity to do what I love now, which is my passion of helping small entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs everywhere grow and thrive versus survive. And I'm thrilled to be a part of it. For me, success is measured in how many other people can I help sow the seeds of success. And as they harvest their crop, I'm there to just reap the rewards of helping see that in action.
Thanks for joining us this week for Gratitude Geek, the relationship marketing podcast, helping micropreneurs find your micro influencer magic. Be sure to check the show notes at gratitudegeek.com, episode 118, for links to all the groovy resources mentioned today, and of course, to connect with Marco Torres. And if you want to be one of the 1,000 people who receives a birthday card from me this year, there's a link to fill out my form for that too. While you're there, I want you to subscribe to the show on Audible, iTunes, Stitcher, or any of your favorite podcast players, and I've made it super easy. There's a link for that too. Our theme music is track 14 by Rev Brock and Soul Lily. I've been your host, Candace Giardardi. Join me on my mission to spread gratitude, sow seeds of appreciation, and harvest a bounty of generosity and kindness. Stay groovy, my friends.
I know we can make it easier than they can. We can make it better than before. I know we can make it easier than they can. We can make it better than before. Some things just can't be ignored.
Stay groovy, my friends.